Thank you, Bob. It's wonderful to be here today. Is Tom leaving the room? Because that kind of dictates what I say.
I'm staying until you're done.
I'm humbled to be in front of you today and to be part of this organization. We had a 5-week race with no time. And we did about 30, 40, 50 things in a row in rapid succession. And if we didn't do any one of them, I wouldn't be standing here today. And first and foremost, I think it's important that I acknowledge and recognize Arnie and Marcia Briggs, because if they didn't run my campaign, it wouldn't have happened. Arnie and Marcia, you're like parents to me, and I really appreciate that. You're great friends. I was up at the Hill for one day, and I was reminded of Tom O'Brien's 10-year voting record without missing one vote. And I've heard about it for a while, as I'm sure some of you have, heard about Tom's voting record. But what I heard that first day really astounded me. They said to me, you know, Tom, if you're ever in a fatal car accident on the way to the Hill in a formal session to take a vote, the front page news the next morning is going to be, Calter misses vote, obituary, page 21. And I'm convinced of that. I am absolutely convinced of that. Tom, your voting record is not only a thing of legend here in the district, it's a thing of legend on the Hill. And I thought once I got elected I wouldn't hear about it much more. I hear about it every day of the week. And you should be very proud of that, and we're all proud of you for that. Thank you. I do want to thank my dear friend and my old friend, John Walsh. John and I have had discussions about politics going on 30 years. We had football uniforms on. John and I played side by side for Cardinal Spellman. Talked about life after high school, life after college. We then got involved in business years later. We talked about every race that's happened in Massachusetts for the past 25, 30 years. And I said to him many times, I said, John, I've got a real problem. And John has been an advisor of mine and a mentor of mine for a long time. I said, I got a real problem. I said, we got this kid O'Brien in front of me. He is not going anywhere. He loves the job. He does a great job, and I can't beat him, so I can't run for state rep. We've got a state senator, Therese Murray, who is a superstar and just runs the Senate with a tremendous sense of grace and passion, and she's not going anywhere. She loves the job, and I can't beat her either. And then we've got Congressman Delahunt, who speaks for himself, does such a wonderful job. He's not going anywhere. You know, I'm now done with my business life, and I have no place to go. What are we going to do? I said, John, I need some counsel. He said, you're right. You're screwed. So that's the counsel I've got from John Walsh over the last few years. And then I said, well, John, I called him for breakfast. And he wanted to meet with me, and I wanted to meet with him because he had just met this young guy, Deval Patrick, that he thought was a pretty good candidate, and he wanted me to meet him as well. And I wanted to run against Tim McMullen for county commissioner. And this was about a month after the "you're screwed" comment. And I said, look, I figured it out. This guy McMullen, don't know him, but he seems like a nice guy, but I think I can beat him. He said, Tom, you're still screwed. And so that's when I decided I might as well go back into the business world, and then the events of county treasurer and so forth happened. So John, every pearl of wisdom you give me, it could come down to 2 words. On a more serious note, when I decided to run, John, with all he had to do with the governor, frequently called me at home and would speak till late in the evening. He gave me counsel, he gave me precious advice. And then in the last 2 weeks, when our race was so close, John and Phil Johnston called me and said, Tom, you're in a dead heat. You need to do everything you can do to pull it out. And here's what we're going to do for you, and here's what you need to do in your campaign. Without that counsel, we wouldn't have won. And John, I'll be eternally grateful to you, and I appreciate that. I want to share with you one very brief story because it was cute, and I really got a lot out of it. After I was told the first day about Tom's voting record, I was reminded that you will never see the governor again in the State House. Because I guess that's the way Representative O'Brien's been for a long time. So I was sitting at my desk in the bullpen, contrary to popular belief. It's not in the cellar. It's on the 4th floor overlooking the chamber. It's about the size of a phone booth, but it's pretty neat. And I was on the phone, I had my back to the group, all of us freshmen, myself and Representative McCarthy, neighbors. And I was sitting there, and my aide Betty said, "Tom, you got a minute?" I said, "Excuse me, Betty, I'm on the phone." I had my back to the crowd. And she said, "Tom, do you got a minute?" I said, "Betty, please, excuse me, I'm on the phone." She said, "Tom." And I turned around, there's Deval Patrick standing in front of me. Oh my word, what? Mr. Governor, I shook his hand, he went around and shook hands with everybody and made himself very present. He got to the last aide, Ellen, this was great, wasn't it? He got to the last person, and she wasn't in yet, a freshman rep. He said, "You get her on the phone right now." And the aide called us and said, "Hey, I'm not going to tell you who the rep is. Governor Patrick's here." He took up the phone and he goes, "Hey, woman." He said, "This is a work day. It's 10:30 in the morning. Where are you? Get to work." And he started laughing. The whole place started laughing. That's the environment. That's the energy. That's the civility that he has brought to the State House that I've witnessed in the past few weeks. And I can tell you, I don't say it publicly often because I get in trouble with people like Representative Canessa and Representative Canavan. I would do this job for nothing. I love it. I love this job. I'm grateful to all of you for allowing me the opportunity to have this job. And as I said to John earlier in the evening, I feel indebted to each and every person in this room, and I'm going to throw this out the window. I feel indebted to every person in this room, and if I can be there for you, it would be my honor and privilege to do so. Thank you.